Look, we've all had this thought at some point in our lives. Like, why did we ever stop dressing like this? Why did we ever stop dressing like cool people? Like, what do you mean there was a time in actual history that I could have been dressed up like a knight every day and everyone would have seen it as not only fine, but honestly pretty respectable? And now I have to wear a polo doing stuff that I dislike. Like, when people wore knight armor and danced at these big extravagant balls, and it just sounds so fun. All of it just sounds so fun. Like, I would love to go to the giant overpriced ball, which is basically just a big dance, but we don't even really have them anymore. That, and they had jousting. Jousting. We could have been jousting each other. We could have been using lances and riding our little mounts and just absolutely trying to tear into each other. That would have been fantastic. I would have been so happy to be a part of that. Like, obviously, I probably would have been a part of that adjacent. I probably would have been a part of that while sitting in the stands. I probably would have been a part of that with a snack in my hand. And I know, again, Ren Fair, blah, 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 you could see it today. Today, it's just too safe. It's too safe. I'm sorry. It's too safe. It's a little bit too modernized for my taste. I want there to be the risk that somebody's gonna get their head taken off by one of these lances. Okay? I want it to be medieval. Like, now we have just sadness. Like, every time I've seen somebody try to recreate this in the modern day, it's just a cash grab. Like, all we have in the modern days that looks like this kind of adjacent is a bunch of cash grabs, and it's just sad. We have Ren fairs, kind of, even I would say those are a little bit cash grabby, because if you've ever actually been to one of those, you can clearly see that everything costs like 10 times what it's supposed to. That, and it's kind of being taken over by like a bunch of 3D printed garbage. Like, the Ren fair anymore, where the only beacon that you get to actually pretend to be a knight for a period of time is heavily being taken over by just 3D printed garbage, which is really sad. But back to the main point. Why can't we dress like this anymore? Just as a daily rule, why do I have to wait for a Ren fair to be able to dress like this? Like, what do you mean I could be riding a horse named Chestnut, pure aura farming on the peasants? Don't worry, Chestnut. They're all just jealous. I mean, look at him. She's adorable. Can't you just see how amazing this would be? And I would look cool, and there would be other people looking cool, and I would have friends wearing armor. It would be fantastic. You, me, that guy, we all would be wearing great looking armor. Probably. I mean, some people would probably have pretty bad taste in their armor, but still, most part, we would all look amazing. But no, I can't be slightly more bulletproof on a daily basis just because someone decided that not being entirely bulletproof means that you may as well just discard it. And it's like, I will take being slightly more bulletproof and just looking cool, just looking really, really cool. Like, come on. I hate so much. Like, no, I'm here working at a places I hate, with people I hate, doing things, you guessed it, I really hate. When I could have been a knight going ching 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 down the hallways of some castle somewhere in the service of a king who's probably a terrible human being, but what's different there? And like, who cares as long as he lets me look cool, and I can, if he does and he gives me a title and a sword, I can forgive having to do the occasional beheading on his behalf. Like, my sword personally would be named Smallbite, and it would be a sword and a half. And my title, hopefully, if I get to pick it, would be a blacksmith. Like Sir Blacksmith, the hopefully not gonna burn himself today, since I would almost certainly be a blacksmith in these times. And that would be my whole thing, would just be I behead people on behalf of my king, I look amazing, and I create my own swords and armor, and it would be a fantastic experience. But no, I mean, I guess in today's age, I'm a 3D modeler and what have you, obviously. But, I guess I could have picked up blacksmithing. I tried at some point. I was kind of bad at it, which I guess means I probably would have been bad at it back in those times. But hey, this is my fantasy, so I can pretend that I would be good at these skills if I had a lifetime to build them. And I could pretend that I wouldn't be a peasant in the street, and I would instead be some nobleman that's actually, allowed to have these things in these times. And also I can kind of brush over the fact that the times themselves were pretty horrendous to a lot of people. Like, they were not exactly great to live in, and they didn't have plumbing. Okay, my fantasy version of this knightdom that we have with having knights is modern day, but with armor and titles and swords. I'm allowed to have my sword, but also I'm allowed to have, modern plumbing and preferably modern medicine, because again, I have a sword, so I kind of would want there to be medicine. I don't want to get leeches every time anything goes wrong. That or a bloodletting, ugh. And I can hear some of you now, oh, well, some people can take the Bronn from Game of Thrones direction and be like, really cool and just work their ways up to knightdoms. And it's like, yeah, that sounds cool on paper. The problem is, Bronn had a ton of charisma. I don't have that. Bronn had great looks. I don't have that. I'm an old fat guy. Bronn had a willingness to unburden political rivals of certain lords of their heads on occasion, more than often, very many occasions. So, unless you're just gonna go around beheading people on their behalf, high likelihood I'm the one that's going to be getting beheaded. Like this. Just, apparently I looked at the wrong queen the wrong way, and now here I am. Oh no, if only I hadn't looked at the queen without her wig on today, maybe I would have survived longer. Like, this is...